not my buddy.
Welcome to Surface Noise, the A-side.
Yes. What's up? And hang on a second. It's going to be like the Power Rangers fully formed, ready to assemble. We've got the dais back in full force. And, of course, spins. I mean, this is the dream team or the scream team, depending on your point of view. But this is terrific. Terrific. Glad to see everybody back in the fold. Concert Buddy here. And our seventh panelist also here.
Sorry.
We are a pro dog show. I'm just going to put it out there. We are a pro dog show. Anyway, welcome back. This is Surface Noise A-side edition, hosted by yours truly, Concert Buddy. I want to welcome everybody. The room is filling up. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. I know it's going to be some choppy waters, guys. You know why? We've got something going on in Chicago. It seems I've hosted these shows counter to the conventions, and that has not been intentional. I'm not trying to get political, but it's just the way it goes. So we'll see how it goes. And then Steve Westman is, again, in his efforts to destroy the show, has again chosen to run counter programming against us. I think Steve Westman is on a mission to take this show out. So we'll come back to that. But anyway, let's go ahead and, before we jump into the topics, let's go around the dais. You know these faces, and if you don't know them, you're about to know them. Let's start off with my man, straight from the Humane Society, my co-host. He does the B-side. That is Spins Vinyl Jason. Jason, welcome to the A-side.
Thank you for having me, Concert Buddy. I got to say, when I saw an A-side email, I knew I had to sneak in there quick with my I'm in, because it had to be by accident. I'm like, wait a minute, why am I getting an A-side? This is a gift from the vinyl gods. So thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, my pleasure. I was just seeing you, and I was just wanting you to know, because we've got behind the scenes where I'm gonna let some inside baseball here. We have a show log, which I've done a terrible job of updating my half. We've got a nice Google sheet so we don't repeat topics. And I was like, it'd probably be best practice to CC Jason on these emails. And then Jason's like, I'm in. And I'm like, I've got the room. Let's go. And then from the Empire State, the brand new, sexy MacBook. Is it MacBook Pro, Arnaldo? Fidelios _frequency?
Oh, wow.
It is.
Yeah, like a kid with a new toy.
They will miss all the visual effects that I can add to our stream.
This is what we're going to upsell. If you want to see all the gadgets that Arnaldo can now do with his hands and hand signals, watch the live. Listen to the podcast, please. Cheap plug, but Arnaldo's got all the tools. Look at that. I mean,
all the love for the VC.
All the love for OC.
Oh, my goodness.
Delightful. Wonderful. And then, again, is it safe to say the most, I guess YouTube has got you in the sights, in its scopes. Jason Rojas, yet another live stream DJ episode taken down. Jason, how do you please do these charges?
Let me see if I can show it, because I have friends.
Snap. We've got a 45 of the immortal Garth Brooks, Friends in Low Places. Wonderful.
Edited.
Is there bad words in that song? I don't think so.
No, it's too long for people to enjoy. So,
unbelievable.
Thanks for having me on, Concert Buddy.
Well, I just hope I don't get any of this negative juju that's coming from YouTube. Ban your last one. You cut out some stuff to get restored, but you're still blocked in Mother Russia. I don't think that's going to work.
Yeah, the Russians are going to miss some of the music, so they'll be all right.
Took their eye off the war, I guess.
Well, I think they've got other things on the mind. And then, now this guy was so conscientious. I'm gonna give this guy some flowers. It's Jose Moreno, Ron, part-time Ron. And before we got started, he's so kind. He jumped on the live stream before we even started to tell me he was going to be late, and then he wasn't late. is delightful. So Jose, it looks like you're in a submarine. How are you doing today?
No,
Yes.
he's hanging out at George Borden's.
Yes. No, it's so hot here.
Shout out to the man. Shout out to the man.
The air looks like shit. A shout out to everybody from the Facebook group watching it. The what is it? Audiophile Facebook group that hate me.
Listen, we're gonna get into that one. This is this the what they call it, the complain session? We got to get what
Yes.
it's a rebrand. We're gonna work on no more surface noise. We're gonna call it the complaining times. But then, perhaps most exciting, this guy's been on the witness protection program. I don't know if I could speak about that, but he's been busy, and he's coming to us from the new home, new setup. He's got some new things to show. It's David Bianco. The channel is Safe and Sound Texas Audio Excursion. David, good to see you.
Thanks, concert buddy. Hello, everybody.
What a delight. All right. Well, before we get into these topics, I want to thank everybody who's coming in. We've got some usual. Oh my goodness, Michael Nolan is here. Tribes Master, Michael.
Right, man.
He'll be here until Westman show starts at the top of the hour. So, Michael, I'm glad to see you. We'll get you for that hour. We got Brian from Fort Worth. Nope. And there's on cue. I throw up the comment about the dogs, and then Spins Dog says, "What's up?" Wonderful. And then, oh no, what is happening? Can it be? Can Safe and Sound Vaginal Audio Excursion really be turning heel?
Whoa.
He says, can it really be the A side with all these B leaguers? Now, this fool was talking the talk and saying he wanted to meet up with me in St. Louis. He's traveling and seeing fish, but I didn't hear a peep. So I don't know what to think about you, fella. I think that's a lot of jibber jabber.
He was going to an aquarium, actually.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go to those broke down Toys R Us, have fun. But
Well, 3 of the B leaguers on this stream were on the B side last week. So
I call those the superstars because they are doing double duty. They're doing more than I'm doing. They are the weekly. They're the heroes. They're the ones who lift the show up. I pop in and out. I throw some really corny drops, and then I just ride. I think one esteemed viewer called it riding coattails. I think is what I was charged with. So I know you're watching, and I want to give you a tip of that cap for saying riding coattails. All right. Well, let's get into the real deal. Podcast is kicking off. So our first topic now, if you watch a lot of this hootenanny on YouTube and the vinyl community, there's been some videos popping up, and some videos, at least by people I watch, talking about opening sealed records and not liking what they're finding. They're opening what they call dead stock records that have never been opened, that are decades old. And when they're opening them, you would think you're getting like new, never been touched. It's ready to just be perfect. And instead, they're opening up and it's horror stories. It's bad news. There's hazing / foxing, ghosting on the vinyl. It makes it playable but terrible. There's warping. There's the inner sleeves have decayed and flaked off and hardened into the grooves. It's a big mess. So I thought let's just, again, I'm a coattail rider, so let's ride the coattails of that topic, because I think it's been Vinyl Chef Steve talked about this. I think Steve Carlson on Two Guys Talking About Records, great podcast. They talked about this topic too. So we're gonna throw our collective sense on this topic. So Rojas, why don't you start? I saw you throw the finger up. Are you ready for this?
So a friend of mine who owns a shop in Brooklyn, he sent me this picture, and it's a sealed Rolling Stones Through the Dark, Lee, Big Hits Volume 2, sealed.
Yep.
Mind you. Now, I wanted to be nice to him, and say, hey, very cool. I've never seen it sealed before. But somewhere inside of me said, you need to open that up, because that thing's got an 80% chance of being warped since 1970.
Yes, sir. And is it still sealed? Did you help? Was it this intervention pay off or no?
No, I did not ask. I think he's just going to sell it sealed, and then that person in New York is going to have a wonderful surprise. Maybe a warped Brian Jones or something, or warped Wyman.
What a terrible legacy to be opened after all these years and to be warped. Terrible.
Danger.
That's the thing. Is that the best advice? Open this up as soon as you can, or is it don't ever open that thing up?
Well, I
Well-
think Mick is saying don't open it up, but I don't know.
Why would you want that record? Like in general, it's a horrible.
Oh no, that's a different
Oh,
topic.
no.
Here we go. Here we go.
That didn't take long.
Taste is relative, but Jason,
I mean, it's a compilation. You don't need to like have it sealed forever.
This is for Jose, you know.
oh no, this is
Who is that? Chad Chasm.
I think that's the poet, the laureate Jim Morrison. Is he contemplating opening a 40-year-old sealed record? I don't know.
He's asking where's that UHQR, right?
Hey, that's what I'm asking. We'll get into that in the freestyle. I'm ready. I'm shadow banned, I think. We'll get into that one. So, Jason, it sounds like you are pro open.
Wait, you have two? There's another one in the back.
Oh yeah, I got 2.
Oh, Bianco's gonna flex in the freestyle. Don't worry, he's ready.
That's two more than you need.
So, Rojas, where do you
Well,
land on this topic? I think I can surmise that you're a pro open, or am I picking that wrong?
Open that up, enjoy it. You should enjoy it, you know.
I
Yeah, that's why I just want to say hello to Fidelio
Take
in the chat. What's up, Fidelio? Good to see you. If you've been here before, you know why that's kind of funny.
If you know exactly. All right, well, Mr. Bianco, let's work off the rust. Where do you fall on this? Because a lot of these records, you remember, you were around when they were brand new. So let's say it's a 40.
I got a saying that says the tighter the shrink, the more the stink. So
there it is.
if they're tight, you're probably going to have a problem, either warpage. I just sent Novus Nick a VCLT of the FM soundtrack double album sealed, and on one of the sides it had a whitish pit. We don't know if it was in manufacturing or the cover, melted there or something. So I mean, just proof of the pudding that's, unless there's some reason that you're saving it for posterity. The buyer beware, I think, is the bottom line. Buyer beware when you're buying sealed. That's definitely a motto for me.
So Arnaldo, where do you come in on this? Because I think any collector, if you're looking in your local store and you find a record you've been looking for and you have a copy that's sealed, never open, and a record that's been open and maybe a little bit of wear, I think naturally, intrinsically, you probably want to go for something that's never been touched, right? Where do you come in? Okay.
Well, it depends. Sometimes when it's like this, I don't know if you could see it.
Man, I'm making you big. Let's go. Oh, there it is.
This was sealed, right? But it was very cheap, right? And I already knew what I was expecting. Okay. Same thing with this one, which probably was even more evident.
Yeah, when you see the waviness already, it's kind of what Dave was saying, and it's probably, it could be from tight shrink because
exactly it was probably also these are records
about this, but shrink will continue to shrink.
Yeah, these are records.
Shrinkage.
The 70s, I think they're mid 70s.
Okay.
And yeah, of course, I was expecting it already. And they have a little bit of lift, but it doesn't really affect the playability of it. And if you have friends in high places, you could probably get someone to fix them for you, flatten them. But there's other times, and I don't have them handy, where it wasn't as evident. The friends in high places.
But in low places, right?
100%.
And there are times when it's perfectly flat. Nothing would indicate that there was a surprise inside. And there was. And then there were times where there was no kind of warpage, and the vinyl you would expect to be pristine inside, and it wasn't.
No.
Like, it did have some spots which I thought were mold, and cleaned it. Wet clean, wet clean, and then ultrasonic clean, and you could still hear some noise.
Yes.
So I was like, wow, I guess. And then again, it was a Steelers wheel.
Stuck
what's
in
the
the
name?
middle with you.
Stuck in the middle with you. What's that called? Steelers Wheel. What's it
Steelers
called?
Wheel. It's
Steelers Wheel. Okay.
Jerry Rafferty.
Yes, and I bought it for that because of Stuck in the Middle with You.
Nice hand claps.
And yeah, unfortunately, I thought, oh, maybe look, this was shitty vinyl in the 70s. But then again,
There was.
it probably was. So I don't know.
A lot of
It's still up for debate whether it was bad vinyl or the fact that it was sealed for like almost 50 years. And it's really hit or miss. I always get it I won't, if there is a record that there's 2 copies of it. One is $30 and it's sealed, and the other one is $10 that it's open in the same store. I probably will go for the one that's open.
Yeah, because you can evaluate it yourself. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, I'm with you. I think again, by nature, you would see something sealed and think it's hermetically sealed. Is that the right word? You know what I mean? You think it's probably pristine, exactly what we're talking about, and then you open it up, and it's some of these horror stories we've been hearing about in other places, and we're talking about here. Is that,
And you would think that because now the word is out, that certain retailers would probably think twice about marking up the premium.
that's what I was just going to say. They usually charge more for sealed vintage records. So then it's like, hey, you've paid up, and then it's, hey, Walter, but then you've gotten the high hard one because the record is trashed or it's got issues, right?
Yeah, and but I've seen recently some online record stores that I follow. It's sealed. It's supposed to be pristine, so it gets like at least a 50% markup from what, especially some copies of records from the 60s sealed. I would never.
So Groovy,
there's an esteemed member of the VC that has a sealed copy of Maggot Brain. I'm not going to drop any names, but I don't know why that person.
What'd you call him?
Esteemed member of the VC.
Oh, I thought you called him Maggot Bro. Okay.
Right.
Well, if you're buying, like, let's say you're buying online and you buy something that's open and it's promised to be a certain condition, I feel like if it's not, then you're within your right to return it and get a refund for it, right? If it's sealed, and I've got a sealed, I purchased sealed, before, and then it didn't sound great. But how do you hold the seller accountable for that?
You can't.
So it's kind of like, I feel like this is an additional risk,
Even when I list on Discogs something that is sealed, I don't list it. I'll list it mint, but in the description, I'll say presumed mint. I don't know what's inside.
It's true. So
I presume there's a record in there. That's all.
Maybe.
So I want to give Groovy Lisa some flowers here, literally, because this is actually the first video I saw at Channel 33, Frank Landry, who's been on the podcast again, cheap plug. He was the one that I kind of saw started kind of this, I wouldn't say trend, but just talking about this topic. And he had a sealed record and he opened it up and it was less than desired. So yeah, Frank was one of those videos too that I saw kind of talked about this. But Spence, I want to get your feedback here because we've kind of talked, I don't know, on air. I know we've talked privately about this, but these sealed records, in some cases, it makes sense. Just slab that bitch. Just slab it. Because honestly, you don't know. If you open it up, what we were just talking about, that risk is high. And at that point, is it something you really think you can say is risk proof, risk averse, or just slab it and make it a collectible and or an investment? And now, hang on, Rojas, you're smiling. You're smiling on this.
Well, I'm just considering, like, if the slabbing people, they'll give it a 11 out of 10, like Fremer would, and so that value would go up because they gave it 11 out of 10, right?
Well, and there you go. So Spins, what do you think about this? Because we've talked about the slabbing thing before. Is that the play? Because that is probably your best return. But it's also like if it's a record you've really been wanting and you got it sealed and you really listen to it, man, that's a tough one. Where do you land?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? I think it depends. I think like Jason showing that Stones record, I would seal that. I wouldn't try to open that. You know what I mean? It's just, there's too many other copies out there. Why are you going to take a risk that's going to come out and be ruined? Just seal it. It's 50 years old. If for nothing else, you're just preserving it if you believe in that sort of thing, you know. Recently, I was trying to put together my Bobby Hutcherson collection, and one of the records I needed was Components. Not a cheap record, starts out about $75. And I snagged one on Discogs, and it had a scratch. And so it had a tick on it, you know, a recurring tick on track one. I can't have that. So I got it refunded. Incidentally, guy let me keep the record, but I was still like, you know what? I need to get another one. So I got one, and it turns out it was sealed. Same price. Well, I had already heard the record recently because I just returned one that I listened to, so I didn't open it. And this is a 1994 pressing. I wish I'd known you were going to do this show a week ago because I would have opened it right here. But I opened it up a week ago. Components, 1994. So this is a 30-year-old record. All the same trepidations we're talking about. Is there going to be paper like frozen onto this thing? Is it going to be warped and all this stuff? And I got lucky. It was perfect. And it's in a tight shrink, but it's still flat. And so that was part of the reason why I felt okay about it, because it was so flat. I opened it up, sounds great. Very happy. I want to hear this. This is something I want to have in my collection I'm going to listen to. So that's why I opted to open it. And then I have another sealed record here, which is only nostalgic. I just happened to snag it. I have this from my childhood. And I saw this sealed for like $10. I'm like, yeah, I'm buying that just to have, you know what I mean? So it's not anything I need.
Our visually impaired friends, what you got there?
Oh, sorry. So this is a Raiders of the Lost Ark movie on record with dialogue and all that stuff, with a cool booklet and all of that. So this is just strictly like, you know, nostalgia for me. So I'm not going to open that. I don't have any reason to. But yeah, so I got lucky on the Bobby Hutcherson, and I've had other records that have been sealed, nothing 50 years old or anything, but a few decades old, and they've actually come through for me. Like, I've been lucky, and I haven't got a lot of warped stuff. Having said that, to your point, Chance, is there's some things I just wouldn't open. Like, I wouldn't open that Stones. There's going to be other things that I just feel like if it's something that it's readily available, either in other pressings or in the same pressing, and there's too much risk, a 5-decade-old record of that thing being warped, why open it? So that's just my thoughts on it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Now, my man, Mr. Morton's, a.k.a. Tom, the High Rant District, says, oh, man, VC 2.0 trying to normalize slabbing. I think we're just telling a different point of view. I think it's unfortunately, now, Tom, tell us in the comments below, have you been bitten when you open one of these vintage sealed records? Because I have, and I'll tell that story in a second. But it sucks when you are buying something and you think it's one thing, and then you get it, it's another. Case in point, if you bought a record that you really couldn't identify and it's being advertised as an OG, and you can't find, you do all your research, and you have to take a leap of faith, and then you open it and you find it's a 2001 repress because it was sealed and it's warped on top of it. Man, it's a kick to the thunder junk. It really is. Now, Jose, I know you're texting some people, but let's get your.
I was not texting it. I was.
Where do you land on this, Jose? Because I saved you for last. I know you're going to come in hot. Tell me about it.
To be honest, in general, I've never had an issue with warp records. It's not something that I get either by luck or whatever. But if somebody says it has a slight warp, I don't buy it. And if it's old and sealed, I personally haven't had any major issues with it. I have one here that I don't know why I look so low res in this shit. But I have this, which is a incredible string band, the big, huge, that I bought from Permanent Records. And I was noticing right now that it has a fuckload of discount prices on it, from 49 to 34, and it was sealed.
They usually cover those up. It's very rare you see the price reduction progression.
No. That's what I was doing. I was like taking it out because I just noticed that it had like a lot of them stacked up.
Love it. Love it.
And it actually has a sticker that says factory seal for your protection, right? But my problem that I've had sometimes with new old stock is more to do with the acidity of the paper, and it has like off gassing.
Exactly.
I think off gassing is more to do with that, especially like, for example, here in Mexico, the outer shrink that they used was a different material, so it like deteriorates or crumbles, and it does warp the cover. I don't know why, but when that doesn't have it, most inner sleeves not like in the US, they were mostly paper. Over here, they were plastic.
Mm.
I don't know if you ever got one of those over there, but it's like literally just plastic, like folded, like sort of looks like those Japanese ones, but it has a little bit extra, so they used to fold it. So when you take out the record, it has a lot of off gassing. Yeah, yeah, well, yeah, because but so I've had more issues with that. I mean, it depends. Like if you get something that's rare and it's sealed and it's something you've been looking for, I would still buy it, even if it comes with off gassing. Worst case scenario, if the cover is in perfect shape, you can keep the cover and then find
That's
another,
design, yeah.
like a beat up cover with a nice record or something like that. Or if it's like a huge thing, well, I don't know. I think if you're buying a record that's sealed for not that much money, I don't like. For example, Jason was saying he bought a one for $10. I would open it and I would listen to it because it's $10. But if somebody offers you a first pressing of My Bloody Valentine's Loveless, and you're like, oh shit, I want that, and I don't know if I would want that, because more than likely the reason they're selling it or bad luck or whatever, it might mean that the record probably has some damage on it.
So,
And
well, similar to that though, Jose, I'm going to follow up with you because that's what timid interviewers do, is we follow up with things. There is something that's kind of, and it's kind of sketch McSketchers, and I saw a couple of people talking about this in the comments, and we'll probably put a bow on this, but what about, because it's out there, two things. One, so BK brings this up. He says, I know the feeling. I once bought a Killing Joke record, and the B-side was the Statler Brothers. Talk about an unpleasant surprise.
Oh.
So there you go. That something, this kind of happened to me. I'd bought them Crooked Vultures dead stock, and I hadn't opened it, for a while. I think that album came out in 2013. I bought it in 2019, maybe 2021, I forget. And then I finally recently opened it as part of my, getting my collection under control. And I had 2 record 2s. So that was a lot of fun because that's a $150 record. So that was a lot of fun. But conversely, as Depeche Commode brings up, the biggest bummer is buying a sealed record that was resealed by a scammer.
Oh.
And so this is actually, fortunately, I don't think this has happened to me. And if it did, it was a really good resale job. But there are a lot of shops. There are a lot of what I'll call, they have different names. They call it B stock here. But there's a lot of multimedia resale stores that not only do records, but they do video games. And they will reseal with their own shrink wrap machines. Like, this is kind of a prevalent thing. So, Jose, what if you bought a record that probably was resealed? That'd be, you'd probably kill somebody, wouldn't you?
I mean, that happened to me a lot when last time I was in Spain. They do that a lot. Like, you would see like a record that's probably like VG or VG Plus, and they reshrink it because they say it's cheaper to maintain like that than have an outer sleeve that's gonna be like muddy or whatever, after a few months. I personally don't mind it if they do it, but if they're honest about it, in the sense that like it's resealed, because they used to put resealed on it, and they would tell you, well, we just reseal it because it's easier than and because I don't know.
It probably helps on shrinkage too. Like, people, maybe there's multiple copies and people are trying to like get top copy with the best jacket.
Frankenstein it, yeah.
And they would open it for you if you wanted to look at the record.
That's fair.
But they would say like, we have it close as well, because if somebody that's new to records want to look at the record, they would definitely have to ask for us. And if we see they're like little kids or somebody that doesn't actually know what they're doing, these
new loose jackets are nice. Right?
David wants to flip. David's in a flexing kind of mood. He's got this new.
I just got that today. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw your.
Like the rhinos are really tight. They are super tight.
Well,
but these loose bag kinds, are really. I think that's a huge advantage.
Yeah, I would agree with that too.
Well,
Now,
MoFi has that, and I keep them in those. You know.
yeah.
On the loose
Arnaldo,
one.
before we get off this topic, so Peter brings up a good point. He says tons of shops in New York reseal. Have you experienced this or noticed this, or is this? Are you guys going to different shops?
Only one store I noticed that, and it's no longer around.
Good. They deserve
it. No, it's sad because
called
it was
Vinyl Karma. Yeah,
it was a great store. Oh my god, I forgot what it was called. Other Music.
Okay.
It had really interesting electronic music.
There's a documentary on that.
Exactly, yeah. And I bought a record. It must have been early, I think it was like around 2010 or 2011, a copy of Human League Dare, and it was sealed, only to find out later when I looked at a closer inspection, it was a cutout, but there was no cut on the seal. Follow? So the
Dead
shrink
giveaway.
the shrink wrap was perfect and mint,
and then there was
but you could see underneath that the cut hadn't punctured the shrink. So I was like, how did that happen? So, and then I was like, I have a feeling this was resealed. Not sure if they resealed it or whoever sold it to them had resealed it. So
follow up from Peter. He said, I was talking about years ago, it's commonplace.
Oh,
Discorama,
yes. Discorama would reseal CDs, especially. And they would do it even worse, where CDs, you know how they came with the promo stamp on them?
Right.
The gold promo stamp on the booklet? They would put that hideous compact disc sticker all over the booklet just to hide that it was a promo, and then reseal it.
Yeah. That's hot trash, as the kids say. That's hot trash, we want to say. All right. Well, guys, I think we beat this topic up. Felipe, hello. Yes. It's artificial intelligence. I am contracted with artificial intelligence to now do the backgrounds for the A side. So good to see.
Oh, I thought it was the vinyl vault in the background.
Oh, hey, Jose, I'm gonna do what you did to me the other day. Remind me to tell you a story in the freestyle about the vinyl vault. I have one.
I'm literally gonna write it down.
Yeah, please. Show notes at the 32-minute mark. Yes.
Or you could actually plug your latest Mind of the Record Collector, the author of the Vinyl Vault, right?
I do have so a shout out to Josh, High Fidelity Records. He gave me this. This is I think they call it buttery soft. It's a very buttery soft T-shirt. So after we did the conversation, he was kind enough to send this to me. So I would stand up, but I don't want people to pass out from seeing this luscious dad bod in this buttery soft T-shirt. So I'm doing everyone a favor. But shout out to Josh. But yeah, if you want to learn more about the Vinyl Vault, we do talk about that in the conversation. But that's actually not what I'm going to talk about. So I'm already on the shadow ban list. I'm spilling all the tea. So stick around to the freestyle if you could. All right. And I see Stunty is here. He says Arnaldo should be appointed Chief Justice. Or Arnaldo, if you have a career ambition to be on the highest court in the land, Stunty.
Chief Justice of what?
I don't know what I think it's too late for Stunty. I think.
Am I the arbiter of the VC?
Yeah, and Tom, High Rant Dester says I knew payola was involved. Yeah, well, if this is the best I'm getting out of the vinyl community in terms of payola, I'm not doing it right because wonderful shirt, wonderful guy, but I'm not getting them records, as they say. All right, let's go on to topic number 2 at least. We'll try to get 3 in before we can, but if not, we'll do it freestyle. Topic 2, call it trading up, and Arnaldo brought this one to the table.
Yeah, I'm probably going to sit this one out because I actually want advice. I've never done it.
Oh, fair enough. Okay,
that's
fair
my
enough.
whole section, right? That's my.
I got a record today.
I've never traded for records, so
fair enough.
You guys teach.
Well, yeah. The idea behind this one is have you as a record collector, and this is for people in the gallery too. Tell us your thoughts in the gallery too. Trading records. Now, for me, and I'll open this up in a second. I've traded records, but it's usually at shows. Well, I've done it at shows a couple times or at my local stores, right? In terms of getting like store credit or kind of what Arnaldo kind of teased.
That I have done.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty commonplace, right?
I was actually more referring to the trade at a show or a trade with someone else or a dealer off show grounds or whatever.
Sure, or in the back of a Buick. So I don't want to hear any of those kind of funny stories, guys. Let's keep it clean. But Bianco, talking about the back of a Buick, let's lead with you. Have you done this trading situation maybe with other collectors? I would think you would, right? You've probably traded with other collectors. And
yeah,
how
I've
commonplace is
done
that?
some.
And why would you why would you find that a better option than just saying, "Hey, buddy, I'll give you $50 for that record"? Is it thinning and also acquiring, or where do you come out on that?
No, honestly, it's really what happens the times that I've done it. It's a lot of times it's part of establishing a relationship, and you find out what that person likes and is really meaningful to them, and maybe you have it or you have two of them or whatever, and then you find out about them, and then you find out they have some, so it really for me has always been more, part of a relationship that developed in terms of understanding each other's collections. And it wasn't even as much honestly the the valuation of it per se. In other words, I'm giving you a $60 record, I want to make sure I get a 60, or whatever.
Yeah.
It was just something that each person really desired, and you sensed that they really desired it, and you had it, and maybe it didn't mean that much to you. So for me, it's always been that kind of thing, more than anything.
Hang on, David. Are you advocating being nice to your fellow record collectors? That we don't do that around here. We're just straight assholes. Like, come on. Like, this is off brand for us. We're about ripping people off and getting the best we can out of these things. No, that's a great idea. No. And Michael Tedder's here. He says there needs to be a Discogs like trading site. I think that would be great because you see some of this. I don't know if you guys see this too, but in some of these Facebook groups, there is at least attempted trades, or even on like the forum boards, there's like a buy sell trade kind of section. And but again, you don't know some of these people are randos, so I don't know if you can trust them.
So sorry if I interject here, because I actually want to learn about this.
Sure.
What's the etiquette if you're trading with someone and you can't physically see what you're trading for? Like, you can't validate the condition.
FaceTime, whatever, use.
I know, but FaceTime, is it really that accurate?
Well, ask for pictures.
Photos can be more accurate. I mean, the sense of who they are and how legit they are,
and the trustworthiness of like shipping it to the person and waiting for your record to arrive.
Big leap of faith, big leap of faith. So, Mr. Rojas, as a almost 30-year collector, is that safe to say? 30-year collector?
No, it's not. Like maybe 25 years plus.
All right, 25 years. I'm sure you've dipped your toes in these waters, and where do you come out on this? Give Arnaldo some tips.
Depends. If you know the person and their reputation or whatever, you're gonna ask for pictures and video, right, of that thing playing. That's just the way it goes, especially if it's a high dollar and you're trading maybe 6 records for one or something. That's my opinion on it,
So Terry's here, your buddy Terry in Austin. He says our local group here in Austin trades all the time. You trade amongst the local community, Jason, or are you on an island? You don't want to be bothered with these other collectors. Terry
just sent me a PayPal of some money, so I agree with what he wrote.
Fair enough.
I back Terry now. Whatever he says.
Side note, cheap plug for Terry's channel. He does some DJ sets of his own, and they're a lot of fun. So I would check out the channel. It's Tap Records. It's good. I've been on it, and I've watched his DJ sets. I haven't been on there. Nobody wants to see this. Trust me.
So I mean, Arnaldo, again, it just depends, how many you're trading, the reputation of that seller, whatever. Always get video, always get pictures.
And when trading in person.
Trading in person, woo! Maybe if you have a portable, or you're gonna go meet them up,
Or I know you have experience trading at shows.
Yes. Well, I didn't trade. I sold it, but I
did try to trade it.
But I did try to trade for one. Like, I tried to trade that Pharoah Sanders record for Nick Drake, 5 Leaves Left, an original. And the guy looked at me. I don't know if I told you this story. He looked at me, he goes, I can't do this trade because it's embarrassing. I'm like, embarrassing, really? because it's like I made no money. Like we just did a trade. That was it, and I'm here to make money. I'm like, oh, okay, fair enough. It's not a problem.
Which
You
Pharaoh
really
record
wanted
was
it.
it, Jay?
It was the one
Pharaoh.
on India navigation.
Pharaoh.
Yep, Pharaoh.
Okay. I already
Super
got that. I
expensive.
was going to say we could maybe work a trade right on the air, but.
No, it's gone. It's sailed
Okay.
already. It's
Past tense.
You know?
So
Got
Jose,
it.
when I thought of this topic, when Arnaldo pitched it in our pre-show prep, I know you're a trade machine. I think your middle name is Trade. It's Jose Moreno Trade Ron. Where do you land on this, and what's the art of the deal for you? Because we've
I
talked
trade
about
all the fucking
you do a lot of Facebook marketplacing, which I think is fascinating, and you jump on the bus and meet people at other parts of the country.
Yes.
So where do you land on this?
I love doing that. I actually got one from Solo Vinyl today. I got this. This was a trade from Solo Vinyl, and shout out to I've never had anyone tell me like, "Oh, you're in Mexico. That's weird." Because I have a U.S. address, so people are like, "Well, you ship it over there." And normally, it works in my advantage because people think shipping from here to the U.S. is going to be really expensive, when it normally isn't. I mean, it depends. Like if it's a box set, it probably would. But if it's just like a single record, like just one single record, it's normally not. This is a KG Heino record that I didn't knew I needed and I wanted, but I got this. This is actually just the cover because the record's in the record. It's a sign. It's 1 out of 100. Can you see that? Oh shit! One out of 1.
Numero uno. Is that proper Spanish, Jose? Numero uno.
Sí, número uno. It's primero. So yeah, I trade a lot. I try to do that as more as I can. Sometimes what I do is that, for example, if I know I paid a lot less for a record that's worth a lot more than what I paid for, I try to normally swap around what I paid for. And what that means is because I'm not losing anything. If I bought a record for $30 that's worth $150, if I can trade something that I like that's probably like 80 or 100, I'm making them a favor and I'm getting something I want way cheaper anyways. So
So you have no problem
losing.
Right. Well, losing technically because your
Yes.
record is worth more, regardless of how much you paid for it. But if you're trading a $150 record for one that's 80, you don't have a problem with it. Only because you paid 30 for it, right?
Yeah, but because again, you have to think. I have a good friend that he collects comics. It's not stunting. I have a good friend that collects comics here, and what he does normally when he's in the U.S., he goes to like state whatever sales, and when he buys something, and he bought it for $5, to him that's worth $5 in trade. And if the comic was, I don't know, $100, in eBay or whatever, he has $95 to his name. You know what I mean? So it's free, basically money. So that when you do that, you sort of have to agree. I think if you're in New York and you can go to someone's, don't go to someone's house, by the way. Meet up in a park. Meet up in a
Vinyl safety tips.
Yeah. This show takes no responsibility for meetups gone wrong. I want to be very clear, clear. But Jose's making recommendations. Okay, best practice.
It's for real because sometimes, look, it's so easy to just say yes because sometimes you're like, well, all my records are in my fucking house, right? Why wouldn't you come here when you play it?
After living in New York for so many years, you don't trust anybody.
No, I know.
We're not as naive.
No, I know, but I mean, I've traded. I trade with one guy here in Monterey for so long. I've actually been to his house to test the records, but that was like after almost 2 years of trading with him. What the fuck? So I think that if you have a record that it's worth a lot more. For example, if you bought one of those Rhino Hi-Fi or whatever, and you want a record that's probably around the same price, 50, 60, 80, I wouldn't feel bad trading it because you didn't spend more money and you can get something higher without you paying anything else. So it's just basically like a coupon to get in something else. So my advice is to like have your expectations always lower, in the sense that sometimes you get something rare, but it's VG. You get something rare, but it's G plus, and you paid basically nothing. It's better to just approach the other person as, look, I have this and you have that. Let's just trade. And I rarely, if ever, trade with money. It's just, but it's not for everybody. But if you do it, take your time looking at the record. If you agree upon just exchanging the record, be more critical. If they have more than one thing, tell them, can you bring both? Maybe I buy the other one, or maybe I'll just trade out one. But
bring some ammunition. Bring some backup. Is that what you're saying, Jose?
This is what Jose
yeah,
said.
yeah.
Friends in Low Places. Garth Brooks is making multiple appearances on the presentation. So before I get that Spins feedback on this one, Arnaldo, are you thinking about brokering a trade? Is there someone or a shop that has something that you want that you maybe want to trade up, or were it just something that kind of crossed your mind?
No, it's because I have some titles that I know are worth a certain amount. And if keeping it sealed and not listening to it just for the pure collectability of it, for me, doesn't give any joy other than the collectability factor. If trading that for something that I would enjoy listening to would be an opportunity to acquire something that normally I wouldn't spend that type of cash for, that's what I'm trying to get to.
Well, or no, but that has a little bit more to do with purging. I think that it's always good.
No, it's not so much purging. I'm happy with that sealed collectible in the collection right now. But if that sealed collectible, which is not procuring any enjoyment for me, right? It's just sitting on the shelf.
Yeah.
Which I would keep perfectly fine until I sell my entire record collection. If that can give me immediate satisfaction by trading for a high price record that normally I wouldn't lay out the cash for, right? The hard cash.
Yeah.
If that could be an opportunity to acquire some of the things that I want, that I don't feel ready to spend that amount of cash.
How much are those records worth? For example, if you have 3 titles that the 3 of them normally go for $300, right? Total. My suggestion would be either find someone that has a record and just trade it off, or go to a record store and tell them.
See, that for me, I don't know how open record stores are.
They are usually shitty. And
because they have a store, they have a presence, they have a wall,
and they have to make money, right?
Maybe,
they have to make money.
Maybe one day, unless you show up with a first pressing of Nirvana's Bleach, the chance that you're going to give them something that they really want to make money.
Wait, I'll be back.
This just sounds way too complicated.
So Spins, have you traded? What's your thought on trading as a means of trading up? Again, that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I think it's complicated. I mean, last time I can remember, I'm trying to think of the last time I can remember actually doing a trade was probably when I traded in all my vinyl for CDs back in '91.
Oh, no.
But it's like... but it's but I mean, at first I was thinking, okay, so complicated, man, because then you get a record and then it's like screwed up, and how can it's like, it just creates hard feelings. Who's losing on it? Who's winning on it? Then I thought, well, yeah, let's do it as friends. In fact, I think we should create the Surface Noise trading post. I think we should do that, because I can see, okay, so let's say we wanted to do a trade. I traded with Arnaldo, and then he gets my record, his record from me, and it's scratched. Then it's going to hurt our relationship even. You know what I mean? So it just seems like Like for me, if I want something and I have records that I think, okay, I'm going to purge this, I'm going to trade this for this, in essence, not literally, but I usually what I'll do, I go out and buy the $100 record that I shouldn't be buying. I get the buyer's remorse. Then I go pull some records out that I can live without, and then I sell them. You know what I mean? It's like, it just seems way more simple. It's simpler. The prices always are equal and stuff. And it's now I could see going to like a show or something and taking a box of records and maybe doing some swapping and stuff. But man, it just seems like there's all this after the fact residual mess that could happen.
So speaking about taking a bunch of records to a show and trading, I've seen this firsthand from our guest, Jose Canseco Moreno, who is now wearing a full Mets jersey.
What the hell is going on here?
What did he trade that for?
Adam Sandler records. There you go, Rodney.
It's the only sport I watch. I like the Mets. What is this?
Way to go, Jose. Mets all the way in Queens. I'm like 10 minutes away from Mets Stadium.
Well, if I ever in New York, that you now know what I want to do.
In the Seinfeld episode where Jose pulls, instead of pulling records from the show, he's pulling out Mets jerseys.
Why the fuck would this be a fake Mets? This is an OG, my guy. This is old as fuck. You see this?
Oh, hang on.
That was one magic loogie.
Yeah, I'm making you big, I think. All-Star game. Jose. Oh, man.
Is there a name on the back?
Yeah, it's right. Number 5.
Oh, David Wright. Oh, big David Wright fan. A Rawlings pro. Side note. Not that anybody needs to know that. But
Mets are punt scum. All right. I'll take it
back in the day, that's what they called him, Jose.
Well, but I like
so Arnaldo, let's just call a spade. Are you trying to trade with me to get not one but 2 of my maggot brain copies? Is that what's going on here?
Yeah, no, not really. No, but you never know. I mean, WFMU's coming up. I don't know if I'll have the patience to bring records along with me to see if I could trade them. But like you said, they're there to make money, not to trade evenly, right? Unless
but it saves you from spending cash, I guess, right? So it's kind of like they should come out a little bit.
Arnaldo, the girls wanted to say hello. The sisters wanted to say hello. So
I'm hoping that's not a sealed copy. They're both open, right?
Oh, no. But somebody brought that up earlier about Frankensteining. Actually, my OG was Frankenstein because I bought, like a lot of people, bought a starter copy that was nicely priced and the jacket was better than the vinyl. And then eventually I found the flip side. Jason Rojas preaches patience all the time, and it's true. Found a great vinyl with a heinous jacket. Oh. So eventually Frankenstein them. And then, like I said, I ran into that 75 reissue. So a delight. All right, let's try to fit in one more topic real fast. We'll go a little bit over the whole podcast time because we've got so much programming, guys, so much programming. So topic 3, hopefully we've armed Arnaldo with the confidence to trade for the record of his dreams. But topic 3, so Jose Moreno, David Wright brought this one up. He said, records you own that may surprise others. So, Jose, is this a loaded one? Do you have something like the Barney soundtrack?
Yes,
or something that's really going to give off like pedo vibes? Because I want to be very careful about how we on this topic. Okay.
No, I fuck Barney. I never saw Barney.
Okay, well, listen. Clearly, you've got a skeleton in your closet, a skeleton that you want to reveal.
No. I just thought it would be interesting. I mean, I'm someone that actually loves UK pop music since I was a kid. So that seems pretty tame.
That seems pretty tame, Jose. I was expecting like something like Scandalous or
Well, I like hype.
We talk about Gigi Allen all the time. I was expecting like a Gigi Allen reference here. What's going on? Now Bianco's ready. Bianco,
I'll go get it. Go
get
with
it. Bianco, what is something that is? It may surprise others that is in your collection, and you are ready.
There's one person that won't surprise, and that's Stunty.
Oh. So what do we got here, David? Tell us.
It's called Made in Sweden, Snakes in a Hole. He said this is...
Is that the sequel to Snakes on a Plane?
It is. Well, I don't know that this may have come before that, actually. It won't. It might surprise you. Yeah, so he said that was a real popular album. So he said, yeah, everybody, it's really popular here in Europe. You'll have no trouble selling it if you want to.
David, we've got a problem here. Novice Nick says, "At you, pervert." David, how do you respond to this charge?
He must be talking about Stunty.
Oh, clearly, it's misdirected. It's you were taking shots. It's collateral damage, as they say.
Yeah. This is another one that's kind of weird.
Okay, what do you got?
This is by a band called Frogs, Sprouts, Clogs, and Kraus. It's called The Rumor.
That's
And
a nice
I bought
one.
this because of the cover.
It looks great.
And the album's really good. It's a little prog-ish, a little rock-ish. And I have several copies of this. I got a promo of it, and I bought it when I was in Europe. And it's just one weird thing, it was like $3. I said, "Oh, that cover really is a good album." So it's really,
Okay.
Weird. Yeah, just something
So
different.
blind buy, kind of. That's cool.
Blind buy, kind of. Yeah, for sure.
Fair enough. All right, Jose, did you bring something to shock and titillate the others?
Well, I was writing a horrible comment. Wait.
Oh no! You were stirring it up in the comments. Yeah, I see there's some jabroni action in the comments. I don't feed jabronis anymore.
So no, I don't know. Again, it was not for anything particular. I just want to see anybody has something that
you want.
Does
You
it
want
have
to
to be
record chain
something-
people. It's okay. Yeah.
Does it
go
have
ahead.
to be something you actually listen to, Concert Buddy, or just something you have in the collection?
No, you maybe you don't
it could
listen
be
to
either
it.
one.
Maybe you just saw it and it made you giggle. And
All right. Well, I got something right here. This isn't going to make you giggle, but let me just show real quick. I can get this over quickly while Jose's still working on it, if that's cool.
do it.
And again, this goes back to childhood, man. And in terms of being embarrassing, like I've already shown people that I have records, elevator music reproduced on vinyl and all that crap. This is no different. But stuff from the childhood, man, is stuff like this, man. These comic books with a record. This one's the 7-inch Star Trek. Again, from the childhood, man. When I was like 5, 6 years old, I was spinning these babies on my Fisher Price.
Oh,
And I'm buying this crap actively. Like if I go into a record store and I see something like this, I have to have it. I have to have it. I'm just like,
Wait, well, what's wrong with a little Star Trek?
so I love them. I love them. So like, these are cool, man. And they come with a little book and everything. This one's got a little bookmark even, little Star Trek bookmark. So yeah, this would be something goofy that I get. I see them. It's the kind that you got to wedge it in between like a Van Halen and a Led Zeppelin when you walk up to the counter because you don't want this just sticking on top. But yeah, I snag them when I see them, man. They're just
kind of like
cool.
back in the day when you're a young man coming up and you're trying to buy some contraceptives. If you know what I'm saying, and you don't just want to walk
exactly.
up, you only got that one box of Trojers. So you got to like buy like a bad magazine and a pack of gum. Same kind of
price
thing.
Price check on some Trojans.
We've got some extra smalls here. Extra smalls. All right, Jose, what do you have? Shock us, scare us, make us laugh. Why'd you take off the Mets jersey? Did you get jersey shamed? Is that what happened?
No, I just William fisting himself in the dark. I'm not gonna give him more material to jerk off. All right. Anyways, no, I'm a big Quiero Bonito fan, and my wife is always trying to make me sell these records. I don't know if anybody even know what the fuck Quiero Bonito is, but in case somebody knows here, this is Quiero Bonito. It's like what would you call this? Like maybe like proto hyper pop-ish music. And I like it a lot. This is from what is it? Polyvinyl, which I grew up buying polyvinyl CDs. Like Shushu, which I've worked with. I have 2 records. I put them out. And American football.
Sure.
And I like it a lot. So just it's just something. I don't know if people would. Think of me when they think of this, but I just want to
Jose, you're full of surprises. I like it. Now Arnold's got an ominous look. It's almost devious. It may be the new MacBook. Now I can kind of see your facial expressions just a little bit better. What is something that would shock and maybe alarm some of the Surface Noise audience here?
Okay. Should we go there?
Come on. We're bumping up. Oh no, Arnaldo, you didn't. What are you showing, and why am I about to have a stroke?
But can you do the? Oh yeah.
Oh, step into a Slim Jim.
Macho Man.
I hate your guts.
I mean, have you listened to that Macho Man rap record, Arnaldo?
No,
Please tell me.
it's actually still sealed.
Oh,
Wow, is that one of those valuables you want to trade to Chance?
Yeah.
that's a 2-for-1 right there.
That's when the bully puts your face in the poo and then like drives his foot in your face and just rubs it in deep. Funny. All right, Rojas, you've got a deep collection.
Somebody said slabbing.
There's got
Slapping.
Yeah, slabbing.
All right,
Oh,
so
my
what is
goodness.
something that it may be what I think they call it off-brand? What would be something that's off-brand for Jason Ross?
I didn't bring. Oh man, that's. I guess if you wanted to show off-branding, I actually like vocal pop music, like Terrible.
Okay, no shame in that
I
game.
mean, like this one. Ooh,
ONJ, what's up, girl?
it's a good one. You know, this one.
Let's get physical, baby.
This
Was
one's
that Barry
That's
White?
totally hot. I got
What
a
is the
mobile
name of the
melody
album,
title.
Jason, for our visual?
Is that Barry White?
I mean, honestly, like again, like vocal music. Like, look at this handsome devil. Look at this guy. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
Someone's been at the dollar bin lately. Yeah?
But I mean, other than like vocal pop, I love kitsch records. Like this one that Jose kept on talking to me about. And it's
that's
actually
good.
horrible, but the cover is.
Yeah, it's worth
Yeah.
it just to have it. It's one of
And
those
then
records
this
you want.
one, this one is one of the best ones right here. Karate Preacher. You know, Mike Crane.
What?
This is
Hang on.
insane.
Put respect on Mike Crane's name, please. It's called God's Power, and he's literally breaking bricks with his fist.
It's
Karate.
awesome.
Name
This is
your
a great
price,
cover.
Jason. Name your price.
My gosh. This is
God
for
is
Arnaldo,
good.
right? Like trade for that, you know, funkadelic, right? Just Karate Preacher.
I mean,
you
you're
know?
closer than
Oh.
Ronaldo at this point with Karate Preacher.
I mean, you got to look at the back. The back is just strong.
Hang
you
on,
know?
look at this.
You know, like, oh my gosh.
Holy smokes, he's breaking more things with that righteous fist of his.
You know,
Yeah.
this one right here. There you go.
Ooh,
With
goodness.
his, he's literally breaking stones with his skull.
With his
This
face.
is basically if you watch
Yes.
too many VC videos, right? This is what needs to be done. Right?
Yeah.
I think this one may move up my hit list more than
that's
Gospel
using your
Singers
head.
Out of Illinois. I think this one's going to move
That's
up.
a hairy fucking leg, by the way, on the photo. That's a very hairy leg.
Wow.
Is,
Jason,
what,
I'm
is that
impressed.
a
I'm
soundtrack?
impressed and scared at the same time. I think that's a great show right there.
So, Jason, you got to show the one. Come on, you're missing one. You know which one I'm talking about.
Yes, it's actually over there. I'll go get it for you.
Well, do that, and I'll show mine. Mine's actually really tame and lame. I got to be honest, guys. I knew you guys would really bring the heat that no one needs. To
What
see.
even you mine? I think so. It wasn't even.
So,
That's a cool one.
so
Let me
while
show it.
this isn't like really kind of maybe too off brand. I don't know. I mean, listen, when I'm not asking people to kiss the ring, I collect George Strait records. King George is where it's at. And there used to be a time that you could get George Strait records relatively cheap. That time is no longer because most George Strait records go for 20, 30, 40. I mean, it just keeps growing and growing and growing. And David probably has like an even
Wow.
Wider and wider and
Does it
wider.
say digital on there? Is that a fake
Yeah,
record?
Arnaldo, you're going to see a common theme in these George Strait bangers. You're going to see this digital on a lot of these. I don't know if that was a
RTA.
selling point, but I still
Well,
love it.
But
This
you
is-
just had to have the bigger format for that face, man. I mean, come on.
I did, and I mean, look at King George. This is a newer one. This is kind of a compilation. But wait, there's more because George Strait's discography is so extensive.
That's Cracker Barrel material.
Well, it's definitely a Cracker Barrel. Now this one, all my exes are from Texas.
And these all have hype stickers. I mean, dang, dude.
Listen,
Is that the song from fucking Grounded Photo? All my exes are in Texas. Is that it?
Oh yeah, that's the song, Jose. You're right on. I see it. I have two of these because this one's in.
Oh my God, this guy's made more records than Miles Davis.
I mean,
Well, when while
He's
you
also
were
had
not
his
here,
last tour several times.
So in high school, I posed like this for my senior photo. This is a record called "Holding My Own," only available through Record Club. I once sold one of these for $300. Look it up on Discogs. I sold one.
What
of
is
these.
he talking about with that title?
You have to hold your own when you're wearing that shirt.
I mean, who says purple can't close the deal with the ladies? I mean, or the guys or whoever you're after. Come on now. And then again, another compilation. And then wait, you guys must think I must be a borderline stalker. Here's another Record Club one, chill of an early fall, only available through the record clubs back in the 90s. Beautiful.
So when you say you have 3,000 records, I didn't know half of those were George Strait.
Well,
I was thinking here this guy has this huge eclectic collection.
no, I do have some doubles of certain things. You saw that one, and then obviously my last one. So
did you have to register a Republican before you bought all these records?
I actually, it's actually they won't, and especially in certain states, it's kind of like to buy a gun. You need to show like proof of citizenship, and you have no felonies. Jason had to one up me and go with the record, the law record.
That's the trump card, man.
Hello.
11 out of 10, right? Everything 11
That's
out of 10.
an 11 out of 10. Yeah, exactly.
You want to work a trade on that, Jay?
Oh, those
are your favorite tracks.
Who circled them?
Oh no, who did that? I didn't see that on your copy, Jason. What is this?
This is another copy, 11 out of 10.
You've got two Michael Fremer records.
That's
Holy
Michael's.
sheep shit.
That's Fremer's personal copy because he circled the ones he liked.
Concert Buddy.
Gotta be.
We switched immediately because he was stealing the show, Fremer, with his Fremer record, which I asked him to pull out. You actually moved with all those George Strait records. you wasted a box to move.
They're not in storage in Ohio any longer.
I mean, listen. When I told you I'm a completist, and again, back in the day, you could get the King George for $2, $5, $10. I mean, guys, that's my retirement fund for fuck your 401ks. I've got these George Strait heaters that are going to take me to retirement town when I'm 85.
If you wait a little longer, you'll be able to trade them in for bleach.
Well,
you never know.
Chestnut checkers, guys. Delightful. I love it. All right. Well, I think we've had entirely too much fun for the podcast part of the presentation. We'll wind it down. Stick around for the freestyle. Freestyle does happen where it goes off the rails, and we talk all kinds of nonsense. But I want to thank my guests, the full panel. This is nice. I don't know if we'll do this again anytime soon. I would love it. I'd love to do this as often as possible with the OGs of the Surface Noise presentation, and Jason Spins, who is holding his own on the B-side. So first of all, Jason, thank you for killing it on the B-side, and thank you for being part of today's A-side.
Thanks for having me. Even if it was by mistake, I didn't see the CC, man. I'm sorry. I thought I was in the lineup.
I'm glad you did get a comment. No one tell Jason or his dog about this show, please. No one tell Jason or his dog.
That's the last email I'm going to get for an A-side.
Blocked. And then Mr. Rojas, the most controversial figure on YouTube DJ live streams.
Thanks for having me on, Concert Buddy.
Count on it. We call it Friends in Low Places here.
You know what the B-side is? Nobody gets off in this town.
Oh,
I bet they do.
Well,
shit.
Not if you're in Texas.
And then Secret revealed huge New York Mets fan. Jose Moreno, David Wright, John Franco, Daryl Strawberry, Ron. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And then David Bianco back in the building. He's gonna flex coming up in the freestyle. If you want to see David, I don't know if he's gonna go shirtless. I don't know if we can go that far, but if you want to see a grown man flex with some records, Bianco's got it. So David, good to see you back in the saddle, sir.
Thanks, buddy.
And then Arnaldo, my steady Eddie, always 98% of the time, first one backstage. Arnaldo, the channel is Fidelios_frequency. He's got a MacBook Pro, so he's about to take those videos up another level. Arnaldo, thank you for joining.
Oh,
thanks for having me, Concert Buddy.
Count on it. All right.
Wait. Before, I had to remind something to Chins.
Oh, about the vinyl vault. Yeah, let's. All right, you want to get into it? Let me hang on. I'm gonna look. I need to sit down for this one. I have to stand up because I cracked a rib, so I apologize.
Hey, Jason, I'm going to message you after the show about that Fremer record. I still got the scratched one. Bobby Hutcherson Components. Great record. I'm just saying.
Beautiful. All right, so I have never purchased from the Vinyl Vault. Acoustic Sounds. That's where they're like used part of their business.
Is that because you refuse to pay $70 more than on Discogs, or because you're still not $85?
Hang on, before we get into it, hang on, Jose. That's a fair point. I'll get into it in a second. But I just noticed something, and I don't know how he did it. But Bianco, how'd you do the wardrobe change to make us twins over here? First of all, how did you get a Buttery Soft High Fidelity Records, shout out to Josh, T-shirt? I think I know, but tell us, because and
I made a purchase.
Change. Did I have an out of body experience? How did you change clothes that fast?
You turned around.
Fair
I made a purchase at his store, so he offered to send me a T-shirt, and so I'm promoting him just like you are.
Well, beautiful, beautiful. So, what record did you grab? Let's.
I got the Fleetwood Mac self-titled 2x45 RSD 2012. Very hard to find.
Awesome. Hey, you've been looking for that one for a long time. You even asked me.
I have. Yep. So I'm really glad to have it. Thanks, Josh.
Josh coming in clutch. Josh, where are you? If I look over and you're at Westman's show, then I'm going to rip this shirt off like Hulk Hogan. You better bet your ass.
Well, I'm just going to change it to low fidelity records.
I'm going to put no fidelity. I got a marker here somewhere. Matter of fact, you know what we're going to do? I'm gonna peek over at Westman's before I tell this story, because if Josh is over there and we're over here pimping the shit out of his business, Josh,
Are you both gonna rip that shirt apart? You're just both gonna.
Oh, you think I don't know if I want to Hulk Hogan. I don't want to get people too upset with this luscious dad bod, but let's see who's over here.
Josh
quick.
isn't on there. It's Tim and PB Thal and Jefferson Douglas.
Oh, I like those guys. I like Tim the most, since PB Thal continues to keep ducking the show. Tim is my number one on that show. I will rank Jefferson a close number two, and then PB Thal pulling up the rear.
He sure does.
Look at these guys. These guys, I tell you what, they're talking about the real deal, and we're having fun. Anyway, so Vinyl Vault. I've never purchased it. I think we've probably even talked about it on the show about, man, Vinyl Vault, like Jose said, like some of the prices are impressive and depressing at the same time. Yeah. But recently they got one of these collections, like Chad does a video on it. Check it out. It's the
it'll blow you away.
It's from Maine. It's like we had to get behind a Denny's and pick these up, and a U-Haul, all these kind of things.
You went to a CVS to buy the
storm once they got there.
Right. There was like an act of biblical proportions going on. But whatever this collection was had some stuff that I was interested in, and it was fairly priced. So I said, you know what, I'm going to take the leap. This is before I even talked to Josh, and I even knew his involvement with starting or getting the Vinyl Vault going. So I bought a couple of records, and I got to be honest, I bought 3 records, and they only shipped me 2. First of all, I didn't get a shipping notification, which maybe we'll circle back on a different topic. And then the 3 records, like I said, only 2 came, and there was no real explanation. And they flagged it as back ordered, the one they didn't ship me, which I thought they had changed that on their site, but it was a little surprising because I didn't get the email notification, and then these records show up, and I'm missing.
You're not doing the drop. The AOL drop.
Oh,
it's like this was a perfect time for the drop.
Yeah, see, I'm too busy in story mode, but let's pretend I didn't say any of that. So let's rewind the tape, and this will offer up the great opportunity. So I'm going to actually do 2 drops. You ready for this? Hang on. And then when I'm talking about the Acoustic Sounds website,
got mail.
Oh no, that's the wrong one. It just goes on forever.
That's a long drop.
That's why the StreamYard account's going to be shut down. But anyway, so one, I mean, imagine my surprise that I could get in through the site and they still had these wonderful records that I purchased. But I just thought it was kind of strange because usually, the shipping note, the shipping notice lack of aside, if they didn't have one of the records, wouldn't you think that they would have said, "Hey, sorry, we sold out," or before your order, we picked the record, etc. But anyway, I will say on the positive side, because gripes, Jose, they called us the gripe show. Remember over there yeah, we gripe. So we're gonna gripe for a second. I'm gonna give them some flowers. They shipped them in those nice acoustic sounds boxes. They did about. I asked them to the sealed records to please open them and ship them outside the jackets, which they did on one of the two. So 50% is better than 0%. But it was an interesting experience. But I also, like I said, not getting a shipping notification kind of weird, and then not shipping me the full order and not telling me about it, kind of interesting, because it was not a cheap order. I'm just going to humble brag. It was a good month, and so I was spending some bucks, and I would have thought that I would have got a little bit more TLC. But again, I think we'll talk about this in a second. I think I'm on the bad list. I'm on the naughty list because of.
Wait, is that?
Yeah. So we'll see.
Is that Stone Cold Steve Austin in the chat?
Is that Stone Cold's music? Yeah.
No, in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
you know what? There's like a few things that I've seen there that I'll be like interested in, but yeah, I don't know. The pricing, I called once to ask for a record I wanted to give as a Christmas present last year, and the person that, because I tried to send an email and they didn't reply to me that quickly. It was like the day after. I'll just call. So I called, and they were like, "Well, let me go check the record." And I was like 20 minutes into the call, and they were like, "We can't find it." So next day, they went looking for it, and I called, and they told me, "Well, I don't like. We're gonna change it on the website because it's really VG instead of VG plus."
Okay, that's good for them. At least catching it in. I'll give them credit for that.
Yes, but I called, and if I didn't, so I was just like, "Well, can you send me photos?" They were like, "No, we can't do that. But if you're not satisfied, you can return it." I explained my situation. I'm not in the U.S. Blah blah blah. And they
immediately hung up with you, and then they called their local DEA agent to report you.
Jose,
they were like,
whatever, yeah.
They were like,
"Where the federales at?"
Macho Man Randy Savage was involved in this phone call, it looks like. And Jason, please do that impression one more time. That was beautiful.
Jose.
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah! Was he on acid on that photo?
He was always Arnaldo just rubbing it in. Yeah,
they got the dueling macho men.
Yeah, Randy Savage was on a lot of ingestible things. I'll just say that he.
This is when he was on acid for sure. You know.
Oh, he was. Yeah, I mean, Randy was sweating, and that was probably from the buckets of cocaine that he had put in his system that morning. It's beautiful. Well, has anyone else had a Vinyl Vault experience before we move on? Has anyone else purchased from the Vinyl Vault? Sounds like Jose was trying. I just placed my first order. Anyone else? Bueller?
Yeah, I said no at the end. I just
Bianca, have you ever bought from the Vinyl Vault? Maybe? Yes? No?
I tried recently, and whatever I transacted didn't go through, and I'm going to assume it's on my end. And when I went back to get it, it was gone.
Interesting. But why do you say you think it was your end? Did you put your credit card in wrong?
Well, I did it on the phone. No, I mean I have an account, so I really don't even need to put that in, to be honest with you. Sure. I mean, I did it on my phone, which I rarely do. It was an item that I think was improperly priced, and I thought it would have been to my advantage to purchase it.
I'm with you. I like it.
When you sort by price, and you're in the $600 ones, and a $60 one pops up in the middle, and then you look at the metadata, you go, uh-oh. I looked it up.
I think we've been there before. I see a lot of shaking heads. I think that we are in agreement with that strategy. And tip of the cap, sir. Tip of the cap.
Yeah, well, anyway, so that, but other than that, I've seen the vinyl vault. I've been in the vinyl vault,
Sure.
but yeah, but
That's actually, to be
obviously-
honest with you, that's how I got, I guess, learned about acoustic sounds. They did a video years ago where they bought a collection. I don't know if Josh was involved. I'd have to go back and look at it, but they got a Nirvana Nevermind first press. This is before I had my copy. And I was like, oh, wow, you don't see those pop up every day. And then I went on Vinyl Vault website and saw how much they were asking. I was like, nope, can't do it. Can't do it.
no, it's rarefied air. I mean, you got to really want something, and you know,
Yeah, I dig it.
but you know,
Well, Jose,
I'm not
Yeah.
saying they're not above calling customer service and making an offer. You never know.
well, hey, all they can do is tell you no. I mean, it's just
Right,
like you go to the
exactly.
record show, and you know, I
Well,
mean,
that's right.
I just bought a Melvin's Houdini record from a guy on eBay that was well below market. I just threw him an offer and he accepted it. So all they can do, Jose, I'm sorry we're keeping you up. What's going on over there, guy?
Nothing.
So,
It was just,
well, Jose, you brought up an interesting one over our show prep, and maybe this is a good topic to kind of talk about on the freestyle. But
okay.
you said let's talk about musicians or bands you don't like personally, which I'm sure for you is a long list. And but you will give them respect.
And why is it the Foo Fighters?
And why is it the Foo Fighters? Exactly.
Not even respect for them. Not even respect.
But surely, kind of like I said to Arnaldo's question, it's like surely there had to be motivation for throwing that in. Like, well, who are you thinking about that you don't like, but you at least will acknowledge they're not half bad?
Not really with anything in mind, to be honest.
Oh, fair enough. But now you're showing movies. I think, is this the morning show? We're talking Criterion Collection. What's going on here?
Oh, this is Jason X. I just thought it was gonna be.
Is that a Criterion selection? I don't know.
Oh, this is the box set of all the movies.
Holy shit.
Whoa.
Jose bringing the big guns to the record show. He's showing his DVDs. I love it.
No, it's my Blu-ray of Friday the 13th.
Hey, Mr. Sticker Mania is shouting you out, Jason. He says, way to go showcasing that. Now, help me out. I'm an old. Is it Chapel Roan or Chappelle Roan?
You said it right the first time.
Thank you. Chapel Roan on your wall of banger albums behind you, Mr. Sticker Mania.
It's a good one, definitely. Watch
I've
out for the
enjoyed it.
glitter, the stars, So I kind of scattered them. They're actually inside the record. So when I've heard stories where people pulled out the record and all the little stars, you can see them, just flew,
Elliot just left after I called him. He was smoking celery. That's funny. Anyways,
What?
is that the 1 year anniversary edition of Chapel Roan's Midwestern
album? Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
It's a great. I've streamed it multiple times. It's probably it's a great album. I got to be honest. I don't know if I would go buy the 18-month anniversary edition that's coming out soon or the 24.
I mean, there's a theme here, as you can see, like green.
Oh, hang on a
is the
second. Let's
theme,
Jason,
That shit is not green. What is this shit? That's not green. The jazz record in the below.
There's a little green in here, like right here.
Jose, what if I told you I was colorblind?
Springware.
I was colorblind.
What if I told you I was colorblind? I don't know what's
Mold.
happening.
I would just tell you that it's that all green one. It's white as fuck.
But it's green. It's Al Green.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Nice OG of San Francisco.
It's a good one. Jose talked me into buying this one.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh,
Chocolate.
Jason, we've been hearing a lot about Jose's influence. Is that the same record that you talked about last week about his influence because you were persuaded?
Yeah, this is like the cover of like Alien Romulus,
Hey, by the way, Alien Romulus was a piece of shit. I was very disappointed about it. Yeah, I know there's not a movie going. Show.
Jose, you're all in on the movies from your Friday the 13th collection to now
Yes.
Alien Romulus. Is there anything else? Would you like your Academy Award nominations early? Can you give those?
No, he's going to pull out.
Well, one of my favorite
Be
underrated
careful what you wish for.
one of my favorite underrated movies of all time. It's Tony Manero, right? So you may recognize the name from Saturday Night
Oh, from Saturday Night Fever. Yeah.
Yes, but this is a Chilean movie about during the time of the dictatorship, the Pinochet, and great movie. I think it's still on Netflix. It's about a guy that basically goes crazy and he wants to have a set so he can practice dancing like Tony Manero and be on TV while there's a war going on in his country.
So
Very good one.
It's not the Tony Manero character that John Travolta played to perfection.
Well, he's trying to become that guy during a civil unrest in his country, and he starts killing people to get money, to get those bricks so he can light up the floor so he can dance to it on national TV. Great plot for him.
Is it available on Amazon? Can I buy
it? Was yes. I import this from Italy, but you can watch it on Netflix in the U.S.
Jose, you know I danced on that floor.
Oh,
the original.
It was still there. It's in the movie. It was Odyssey 2000. That's what it was called, and it was a club in Brooklyn called Spectrum that still had the original floor all the way through the end. I think it was like maybe 2000, and it's much smaller in person than in the movie. In the movie, it seems like a really big dance floor, and it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't.
So, yeah. And I believe when the club shut down in like early 2000s, I think
they auctioned
it. I think a Japanese person bought it.
Pretty cool.
Hey, Jose,
that's cool.
Jose, I found a clip of the movie. I'm going to project it. We may get shut down for copyrights. It's probably since Jason's here anyway, but I'm going to present this. Jose, can you confirm or deny that this is the same movie? Hang on, let me put this on.
It has a bunch of awards. Look.
Hang on a second. I got to undo this.
Look, it's in Italian, right? You see the Santiago de Chile.
Yeah.
Is it dubbed or subtitles or both?
Jose, was that the movie? I hate to give away the best part.
That's why it got so many great festivals.
It was. I was moved. I was moved, and I was touched. And
how much did you pay for that, Jose?
He didn't pay anything. He traded. Remember?
Oh, you traded.
Yeah.
From DOS to Dawn 2, right? Because you have to have from DOS, from Dawn to DOS 2. And this is a Guided by Voices movie. Anybody likes Guided by Voices?
That is delightful. That is delightful. Hang on, before we get off of this wonderful movie, there's one more scene because it's a dancing movie, right? You said that he's dancing for freedom, right?
No, he's not dancing for fucking freedom. He's cute.
I want to bring Chad back into the mix.
That was Dookie, everyone. Just
oh no,
Dookie.
Oh no.
Can I ask our esteemed panel how many people have bought that one step from Mr. Green Days?
I'm just not interested.
No.
You didn't bought it. You bought it. You bought it. Chance. No.
No.
All right.
I'm sure our friend Brandon, Punk Rock Show Off, definitely. I don't know. He bought the deluxe. I know that. That's the one you want. That's the OG with Ernie on the back.
One.
That's the one. So great transition, Jose. Thank you for teeing that up. One steps. David Bianco, I'm sure you're doing a video on it, but can you give us a little taste? Because you've gotten yours, and I'll get into my part of this in a second, but initial impressions. He's putting on for folks who can't see this, what's happening is David has a pair of velvet white gloves.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with rubber gloves.
Correct. These are not rubber gloves.
Novice Nick, these are not your gloves. So,
so the UHQR, the doors, this is the gripe time section of the segment of the program. But David, what do you have to share with us before your video comes out about your first listening experience?
Wait, can you see that In-N-Out soda next to the Beatles white box? That's flat.
Thank you for pointing that out.
I can't get In-N-Out. Come on now. So, David, what do you think? I mean, the cover looks cool. I mean, I'll give them that. That's
this
the 45,
is the 45. This one is
the Doug Sachs one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the 45. So, getting beyond the box issue, which is obviously different. I mean, it's probably the toughest comparison I've ever had to do, to be honest.
Okay.
Very close in terms of sonics. There is one thing when I started to compare, because I was comparing an OG33 to the UHQR33 to the 2x45, and I did find a slight speed variance between them, which I'll talk about in my video, which I wasn't expecting. But when you play these side by side, and I digitized them, so I digitized them from the same turntable, so there was no turntable speed variance. One got ahead of the other a bit, not drastically, but a couple of seconds between songs, between 3-minute, 4-minute songs. You could feel it kind of taken off a little bit, but at the end of the day, these two have both really strong characteristics. That's for sure. And it's the whole argue. You can get the $60 one. You can get the 2x45 still for $60.
Sure.
And
That's
it
what
is
I started out with. Yeah.
no slouch, obviously.
So, David,
Man,
that's
I
a
love that.
well-mastered album, right? I mean, it's not like their earlier albums.
Yes, much better. Yeah, and then Doug Sachs did this one, the TML, the 2x45 was done earlier, 2008, 2009, whatever it was. Can't remember the
No,
exact
but
date.
they repressed that this year as well. That double 45 RPM, they repressed that this year.
Yeah, they made more. Yeah, they made more of these. Yes.
This year.
Yeah, because they got the licensing to do more, obviously.
Yeah, because Chad's like, hey, we got to do more. 30,000 of those shit.
No, it's nothing like that. These are, I think, 4,500 for the. I think I'm number 630 on this one.
All right.
The camera doesn't like me moving around, I guess.
David,
So
I think we're
anyway-
about to be reported. I thought the Pygmy Dance video may shut us down, but Tom Hyrandistra says getting a Mickey Mouse vibe with the gloves. Disney might shut the stream down.
Oh, I better take those off. Okay, Goofy.
So you did. So I do want to ask you, since you do
That
have
happened,
years, and you're not waiting like some of us are. What do you think about the new box? Let's be honest. Does the box even make a difference to you? Because I mean, you're not like a goof like me and have all the other units. Like,
No, I don't have them all. I have a lot of them, but it does. It's kind of like weird. It's kind of like out of place. It's kind of like a misfit toy, in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, whatever.
sure.
It's just, but I mean, I get the reasoning, why it was done, but the thing about it is it proves a fact, and that is,
Why was
no
it
matter
done?
what you do, people are gonna complain either way, right? I mean, get Mazzy happy, and then you get everybody who liked it mad, so it's like.
So you're
I
saying this
know-
is a power play by Norman Maslow?
No, I'm definitely not saying that. Yeah, no, I'm definitely not.
Why
saying
was it? Why was it done?
Well, there was a turnaround issue with the other kind.
Lead time issue.
Lead times were the biggest issue, and they are more expensive. It is, but they're not.
They are selling it at the same
But
price.
the price is the same.
Yeah. So what the fuck?
Well,
I mean,
no, you can't say what the fuck when there's 24% inflation over the last 2-3 years. Whatever.
yes, but
So you
for
really
example,
can't say that. You can't. I mean,
uh,
the cost of people's pay, everything's gone up. So
Yes.
Exactly.
you guys,
For that specific reason, because people probably can't afford it as they did in the past. Maybe
Well, I
you should
don't-
throw us a bone.
yeah,
and
well,
and also, so that means
But
that
they're not in
when
the
they
business
do,
of throwing a bone. They're in the business of making money.
so that means that
No,
when
they're-
they
they're-
release,
yeah, and
So-
they're not only in the business of making money, they're in the business of having enough funds to be able to sign new agreements for new things to do as well. Because
mean-
that's a 2-3 year
You mean
process.
the funds to sign to repress the same old shit.
No, and I know that Steely Dan was a totally raw new contract. That was totally new. That nobody had done that before,
raw dogging it.
right?
I
Just
mean,
like-
I mean,
so is
you
it?
know,
Is that
just like
is that basically just a record and a jacket What else is in there? I mean, is there a booklet, a sticker, a
Whoa,
T-shirt? I mean,
whoa, whoa.
anything.
Jason,
Because that's where I'm just
Jason.
sort of like, throw something in.
Jason,
By
are
the way-
you not aware of the powerful UHQR official
Yeah,
certificate of authenticity?
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, you get one of these.
Oh my God! Look at that beautiful, beautiful
Dad
signature.
signs it. You
I had
get
no
all
idea. I got to
the-
run right out now.
Yeah, you get
You
that.
better slap the credit
You get
card.
the technical specifications, which MoFi used to do years ago. Okay. Let's
Wait.
see. You get the book.
You do get a
kind of
booklet.
Wait, if it costs $1 million per title,
No, I think
divided into. No, I believe that he knows that. If you divide that for for every record, that's
Okay.
$33 a record that got cost. So basically,
wow.
the box itself was as much as the licensing. Isn't that
No,
funny?
you're talking out of your rear.
Why? Why am I talking about my ass? I know. I believe Stunty knows how much it probably cost. Chad
Stunty?
himself said that the
Well,
box.
All I'll
costed-
say is this. All I'll say is this: is Michael Fremer is now joining
Come
us.
on, stop
11
teasing
out
me,
of 10.
Jason.
11
Stop
out
teasing
of
me,
10.
dude.
11 out of 10.
As Chad Kath myself has said, like if you don't like, you're more than welcome not to buy the thing. So I think no one's holding a gun to my head when I purchased it. I'll say that.
I did the quick math on the $1 million figure that Stunty just threw out there.
Oh shit, Arnaldo coming. Hang on,
That's
hang
what
on,
I said.
Arnaldo. I have a drop for
I
this.
didn't see what Stunty.
Hang on, you ready for
So-
this?
Didn't Chad once say that it cost $50 to make that record? Between the
No.
box materials?
He said that the box itself was $30.
Right.
And-
Then you add also the jacket, you add the cost of pressing the vinyl. So
Yeah.
let's just say roughly it's going to cost $50 to recoup $1 million. That's how many copies he has to sell of each one.
Wow, 20,000 titles.
And I
20,000
tell
copies.
he was that ambitious, and I mean,
Well, some of them are 30,000 and some are 10,
you
right?
didn't put the echo on the 30,000.
Oh yeah.
only Asia was
30,000.
There you go. Thanks, Jason. So I think it's a bit ambitious to think you can sell 20,000 of the UHQR. That's a lot of boxes.
That's
Yeah.
a big ass credit
Well,
card.
and here's the problem, guys. When you go
And
into
you're not- I'm
buying
sorry,
something
I'm
like
sorry,
the
you're not
box,
even making money. You're just breaking even at 20,000.
but buying the boxes, he bought all of them up front to get the best pricing. So he's got all those boxes sitting there and hasn't necessarily obviously pressed all the records to go in them. So he's got sunk cost.
I understand, but now
Yeah.
you're contradicting because
No, I'm not.
if he bought all the boxes up front and they're sitting there, then why switch to a cheaper box? He has them on hand.
No, I'm talking about Steely Dan, for example. He bought.
You actually think that if he has a run of 20,000, he ordered 20,000 all at once?
They
Customized
probably are keeping part of the inventory. I think they ran them all. Yes, they're probably keeping part of the inventory, and he has part of the inventory. But I think he already had to pay.
The box is made of 3 parts. You have the raw box with the
Yeah,
right? Then you have the dowel. The only thing that gets customized is the dowel and the paste-on artwork in the front.
That's right.
He may have ordered 20,000 of the boxes that are just plain, right? I doubt it would be a wise business decision to order and customize all 20,000 boxes without.
You think Analog Productions puts that facing on there?
I don't know who does it.
They don't.
I don't know who does it.
Yeah,
but
they don't.
What I'm guessing is I think it would be very ambitious to order 20,000 of those boxes and then risk maybe because it costs money to have them stored.
Right.
You may not be able to sell through that inventory for 3 years. Is it really a wise business decision to?
Well, you got to remember some of these business decisions were made literally in 2021.
No, but
when
I'm
the volume levels were totally. I don't think Chad would. I mean, if he knew then what he knew, if he knew then what he knows now, he
If
never
I
would have hit.
know then.
I don't
So,
think he ever would have gone for
David,
those numbers.
Caesar brings up a point since you have one in hand, because I know he's hot on this one. So he was talking about the jacket, the actual, so what are your thoughts on that? Because Caesar is
It's
not
pretty
a fan.
flimsy. It's pretty flimsy.
So do you feel that they could have done a better job on that piece? I mean, it looks cool, but I mean, if they're using like cheaper materials, what are your thoughts?
No, it's definitely flimsy. I mean, I'm not gonna throw the album in there.
Well, especially because isn't the Clarity vinyl is at 180 gram. So imagine if you put that in there, that's begging for like.
I think
it's thick. This has a pretty wide opening chance.
Okay.
Look at the edge. It's a little thicker than you might think.
Okay, fair enough.
It's not.
Got it. That's curious.
Yeah, but I honestly hadn't put it in there to even see how it would look or act. To be honest with you, so let's see. I don't know that it would look good, to be honest, but
There's
Do you think there's
Hey guys.
or no? Do you think there's a house in Salina, Kansas? There's just UHQR boxes to the brim.
a house. Yeah, it's
You
called the
have-
house that Chad built. Yeah.
Oh.
But isn't there supposed to be also a yellow inner sleeve?
There is. Here it is. I haven't disassembled everything.
My question is, wouldn't it just, the age-old question, wouldn't it just be cheaper not to make a fucking box? But beyond that, for example, something that I like, even if I'm not gonna buy it myself from MoFi, is that they have $40, $30 records, $50, and then the thinner case one steps are 100. So all I'm saying is that when they announce the next UHQR, will it be more expensive if they got the old booklet thing? Will it be? Well,
Don't know.
Well,
Can't say.
time will tell. I'm curious. I would join you in talking about this title, David, but I haven't even got a shipping notification for mine. So like I said, I think I'm on the bad boy list because of our previous programming. But that's sometimes that's the risk you take. Well, actually, I think it's what they call that. They call that guilt by association when you are
Absolutely
the bad boy of the vinyl community. And
you are among the only human beings that bought the hoodie and the blowfish one, so they should have given you a faster.
You would think that'd move me up the list. And yeah, Randy Savage.
Chad, where's my UHQR? Chad.
Fanatic audio.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. I think. Oh yeah, we need more Macho Man drops. That's my takeaway from this show.
Oh yeah.
Yes, Randy. Rest in peace, Randy, wherever you are in audiophile heaven. Thank you, Randy Savage. Appreciate it. But yeah, I haven't even got my shipping notification, guys. We were talking about this before we came on the air. I'm a little sad, a little butthurt. I got to be honest. Only because these are supposed to ship on the 19th of August, which was earlier this week, and I have yet to get a notification. Now, I did go into my account, my wonderful Acoustic Sounds account, which, as Arnaldo pointed out, this is always going to be the associated sound effect that we should always play when it comes up to that website. No, but I did get my shipping notice there, but we'll see. So I'm curious. But I'm also curious about that box because, as corny as it sounds, I liked that box. I like the old box. I thought it was slick. I thought it gave a value add. It came,
unique.
It kind of reminded me of like old school Encyclopedia Britannica.
Encyclopedia Britannica. Yeah, right.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, so it kind of gave it a little bit of an air of regalness. And while
I feel the value add is less now.
Yeah.
Here's why.
Thanks, Mazzy.
I'll wait until I get it.
Well, no, agreed. And I think what disappointed me about the announcement. See, I like that. I mean, I think that is like a nice touch. I know that's not his, right? That's the previous.
Oh yeah, it's the Royal Ballet.
This is the OG where the idea was
Sure.
taken. You
Right.
know,
200%.
thin. This is very thin. You know, heads up.
200%.
You know, you can make it thin. You know, if you
Mhm.
want. You know, just heads up. You know.
How many records are in there, Jason?
I think there was only one, but you can fit like 2 or 3 for sure.
Mhm. Yeah.
So you can go thin if you want to go this direction, you know, because this is like, you know.
Wait. Wyoming Dave, are you now the king of the VC on Facebook? What
No,
is
that
this?
Chats nicknamed me that last year.
no, Wyoming Dave has joined us. For those who didn't catch on,
I kept
and
it.
I gotta be Wyoming
Yeah.
Dave. You're messing it up. You're the
Oh.
mayor of the vinyl
Oh, the
community.
mayor. I thought it was a kid. Oops.
Listen, this is a democracy. Believe it or not, the vinyl community I consider a democracy, and so we're not going to give you any kind of regal tone. If anyone's going to be regal, it's me, because I demand fealty. Kiss the ring. People need to kiss the ring, as I've heard on other places, because that's what I demand of my guests. Anyway, back to the boxes. Yeah, I thought it was a value add. I've got 19 of these things. There's 2 more coming. Chad said in the video the 2 remaining Steely Dan titles. They already got. So to David Bianco's point,
Oh man, I can't wait for those.
well, but having this Doors one start the new box trend, I was disappointed because MoFi did the same thing on their One Step series. They, like it or not, they had those original boxes that were a little thick,
but they lower the price.
Right. But now they have those slimline boxes, and that's a whole different topic. I don't want to get into it, but I felt that was kind of, you know, again, if you're looking on your shelf and you're really proud of the series or really like a collector, whatever, I don't know. It's probably logic, but I was just disappointed. Now I did see somebody online, I forget who it was, so I apologize, did already show how it stacks the new box on the shelf, and it's not. I was worried it'd be painfully obvious, like, you know, A, B, C, D, Z. You know what I mean? Like it would just stick out. It doesn't. The initial picture I saw from this, again, social media account didn't look what I feared. Yeah, I mean, from a distance, it looks like it, but it's not the.
Yeah, if you pull it out to the edge, it's not so bad.
Yeah. So,
this is people notice.
Great question. So let's change topics real quick, guys.
But you don't.
I gotta go to Westman's thing. He's doing a thing on Abraxas, so I just got this today. So
as a representative guy from Latin America, can I say fuck the Abraxas record? All right.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
you know, talking about this UHQR box, just like this is what it reminds me of. This right here, you know, right here.
No, I saw on MoFi's website they said the definitive Latin record. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. What is that shit? Fuck that shit. But anyway,
how do you really feel, Jose? Come on.
It's still better than the Foo Fighters.
Right?
Just
a dagger to the heart every time he says it, man.
You know what? I've told you, right? The only song that I can not drill my head to from the Foo Fighters is Chance knows the song. What it is? Do you remember what it is?
I'm not gonna disparage the great the orator that is David Grohl. I'm not gonna go there. But I did just drop a note to Josh over at Westman's thing that you've got some great representation and you're on the wrong show, Josh. What's going on here? I see you over there commenting, and you've got not 1 but 2 people highlighting what's going on.
I've got another confession to make. Didn't buy that UHQR. You know.
Look at this.
And you highlight Stunty's comments, so it's fitting. It's fitting.
Yeah. So Stunty says, please establish a mandate for Jason not to be allowed to use his phone on screen and show the same record more than twice. Oh, this is the show with no guardrails, Stunty. I can't do that. You don't want to tell a dancer not to dance. I mean, this is Jason. Come on, we accept it.
Let's get Stunty up here.
The link is out there. I also see our private. I see our private chat is getting spammed. So I don't know what's going on there, but I can only imagine it's some shenanigans going on. But regardless,
oh my god.
You know, I don't know what William.
Hang on. Here we go. My man coming in hot. Let's go. Josh.
Can I say that I think that William has
David, talk it out, David, because Josh is here. We got to show him. The skills to pay the bills. Let's go right here. Anyway, if you haven't checked the latest Vinyl Community Podcast, Mind of the Record Collector, this guy, Josh, High Fidelity Records, great story, great guy, great operation. And look at this shirt, buttery soft. It's a delight. And Bianco changed his in record time. It was like the Academy Awards. I turn around, and he went from having like a wife beater on, like a tank top, to the lovely High Fidelity.
A wife beater.
Anyway, good stuff. Good stuff.
Hey, I got to tell you a really quick sad story.
Well,
Rhino box. Okay, ZZ Top, right?
Oh no.
So I ordered this, and I ordered a couple of LPs. I ordered a Doobies Minute by Minute Chris Bellman cut and a Bad Company Rhino Hi-Fi, and I ordered an SACD of Bread. And so they said they shipped it all, and I'm like, I cannot find. The records came in a separate mailer, and then this came. I'm like, I cannot find the SACD. And they're showing me a picture of what they left at the door here, and I'm like, no, I don't see it. Well, guess what? Inside this box, they have, the actual box goes below there. And underneath this is another box with the SACD in it. So I could have thrown this in the trash and not even realized.
Wow.
So
Thanks, Obama.
Obama.
I will say that I always see Bread records here, and I've never listened to a single Bread song.
You haven't? Wow.
You've heard Bread, probably without knowing it.
Of course. You make me feel very happy. Come on. Everybody knows that song.
I don't know.
Jose, and I now officially disqualify you as an official record collector. If you've never,
I own a Bread record. I've never listened to it.
Oh,
in fact,
wow!
I may own
Red records.
Bread records.
They're okay.
I think I've showed them on radios or something. I own them, but I've never listened to them.
So why do you own them if you don't listen to them?
Because my wife's mother gave it to me, like, "Hey, you collect records, right?"
I thought he got I thought he got it in a trade.
Yeah, what happened to the trade? What did you trade for the Bread record, Jose?
This from Dusk Till Dawn, Texas Blood Money. That's what I.
Jesus.
Yes. No, but I'm just curious. Bread.
Hey, this is a good. The record keeper brings up a good one to talk about. Speaking of Rhino, so because this is the gripe portion of the program. Record keeper says, I got my unnumbered Black Sabbath last week. I was absolutely disappointed. It has no bass at all. I'll stick with my OG green label. I bring this up because, that was originally advertised as limited edition. Arnaldo is, I know Arnaldo's going to have something to say on this one, but then they came out with, it was another 5,000 unnumbered. Was that the number I heard brandied about?
I don't know if it's unspecified on the number of non-numbered.
It's probably 20,000. But I mean, Rojas, I see you're shaking your head. How do you feel about something that's presented and sells out in quick order, seems to be appreciated by some? Not all. I don't want to get into that part of it, but then not less than 6 weeks later, they've got more, and it's a kick in the thunder junk, as Wyoming Dave likes me to say. So, Rojas, what do you think about this?
Here we go. Just make me big.
I got it coming in. And what this says, public service announcement, don't fall for vinyl, quote, limited edition reissue hype.
Don't do it.
Yeah,
But it said numbered limited edition. So they were accurate. They were actually accurate.
Gotcha.
Oh my god.
But here's the question, guys. How did they get the pressing time to make more, and how did they get more jackets if they didn't intend to do it in the first place? In that short a lead time. How?
Well, it depends where you press. If you press a GC Media,
Optima.
Well, I don't know about that. In GC Media right now, you can get it done in a month and a half.
Yeah, well, they have slots. But my thing is, I think the jackets are the more critical thing to get redone.
Especially those tip-on jackets. Those are not made by GZ.
Yeah,
no, I know they're not. I know they're not.
Jackets.
My point is, I think the lead
and
time.
plus, I believe aren't they all made at Optimal? So
they're made it
Oh yeah,
optimal.
David said it was optimal. I just
Yeah, they're
didn't know where it was.
They're
I
made
right,
didn't know that.
I'm guessing like
Oh.
David says,
We've got a treat now. Look at this.
it's at least
Hello.
a 10 to 12 week lead time. Even on
Wait, I know that guy. I know that guy.
We have a wayward traveler. Is this a time machine? I think. I don't know if you've been on the big show before. Hello,
He never has.
statistics head coach. Welcome to the program. Some know
Wait,
you.
is that a Brett CD? Wait, can you make him big? Is that a Brett CD?
No, it's not.
Oh my God, it is a Brett CD.
No, it's DJ Humble.
No, it's the same thing. It's basically the same.
Stunty, it's so great
It's
to see
Brett
you.
for
Our-
the
our big
Democrats.
show. Welcome.
Thank you.
Did you
You
see
How
it?
great-
I have been in the backstage for 5 minutes, so that's
Oh, it's all.
Oh,
in the doghouse. Huh?
I'm not used to having
Oh.
so many people up here. There's a device not connected situation going on back here. I don't know.
Jason.
Oh, it's wait. Who the fuck is this? That's a funny name. I won't say it because somebody's gonna think I am the guy.
Yeah,
Right.
there's a lot of shenanigans. This is why we're very reticent with giving out
Hit
links.
the vinyl Richie switch.
Yeah, I think you need to turn up. But hey, Stunty, I did see something. Are you celebrating an anniversary on your show tomorrow or something? What did I see? Your post.
It's you know I number all my shows, but
Right.
completely randomly because I think I find it silly.
Yeah.
But
Will
tomorrow
you ever?
that tomorrow is the 2-year anniversary of doing the stream every week. On that specific format. It's nothing that special for anyone but me.
No, but listen, it's significant because I think you even admitted like there's only been 2 pauses. One, unfortunately, was the passing of your father, and then you went to that festival. But outside of that, every Friday, at least for us in the States, there's Stunty playing music that I can guarantee most of us haven't heard before. So good, better, and different.
It's like the thing is, I make no hierarchy between George Michael and Stockhausen. That's the thing.
Who would? Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I've seen Stunty play like The Cure on his show. Yeah. He did a Beatles record once or twice.
A few times, yeah. Like Paul McCartney, yeah, absolutely.
Well, Stunty,
He doesn't get shut down though.
What do you think about this practice? Like, let's use this Rhino thing we were just talking about. A company comes out and says we've got a limited edition numbered 5,000, and it sells out, and then within a matter of 4 to 6 weeks, they've instantly have more inventory available. Is that, as somebody in the industry, what do you think?
I'll tell you what. In my world, anything that is limited to more than 200 copies, I don't really find it limited.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's a bit extreme. I would agree, but
What about 300? Is 300 still not
because
limited?
300 is the regular pressing of 95% of all releases. That's the pressing run of the majority of the records that are being released. So
I just got our new release. It's limited to 200, so it is Stunty approved limited
yeah,
edition.
but it's just it's always the like you got to know your market. If your market is 5,000 customers, then you press 4,990 copies. So you have 10 hardcore ambassadors.
Yeah, I think the worst offender is Grateful Dead when they do record store day releases and they make 20,000 limited edition. I think that's the worst offender because that's like fuck you. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
So Record Keeper brings up one, and this is kind of the same ilk because, and Arnaldo, I want to get your thoughts on this because I know you bought this too. The Jack White record, the No Name record, when he dropped the indie exclusive, the blue vinyl, it was very coveted. If you look at the resale, like people are buying it just to flip it. And then magically this week, if you're following social media, you follow stores, magically they're coming in by the truckloads of the blue vinyl again. Arnaldo, was this a bait and switch? What do you think?
I don't know. Limited to
Oh,
2,000.
come
maybe.
on, Arnaldo. I'll give you a trick that Jose knows very well and Arnaldo must know as well. It's like you do a 300 limited copy, but you actually order 500, and then suddenly a 200 copy repress appears. Like that's if you can afford to pay 300 copies, you can often afford to do 500. The difference is very
Well,
marginal.
especially if you have your own pressing plant.
Well,
But
and it's
even
Arnaldo's favorite
yeah,
plant too. By the way, Arnaldo is a
And
huge
actually, I will
proponent.
say that great care was taken on pressing that record, probably because it's the boss's record. I had no flaws in it.
but Arnaldo, if you really think that the cost of the jacket and the LP would be $20, the production cost, I think you're a little bit
Oh, are you referring back to the
yeah,
UHQR?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, that Chad, as I guess David can confirm, he didn't he say that it cost $30 just to make the box?
Oh, so we're supposed to believe everything. Like I can tell you that like when I give a price to a customer, I round it up always upside, not downside.
Well, I actually spoke with the person at my job that does supply chain,
Mm.
and when I showed the box, obviously in the picture, I said, "How would you estimate the price of this box to be?" And he roughly came around that price. I mean, granted, that's his pressing plan, right? So
Yes.
he doesn't have to pay typically if someone else goes to him and wants that Clarity vinyl pressed.
He pays only for
Probably
actual cost.
no, but he will charge someone maybe anywhere between 350 to $5 per disc. For him, it's
Depending on the
cost,
volume. Depends on the volume
right.
totally.
But
But
The
if you're
volume I
making
think is much
four
less.
that's what I
thousand,
said. Anywhere between 350 and $5. It depends on the run. But to him, what's the cost? The cost is only the raw material, right?
No, no.
The raw material and
Overhead and
the
production.
Labor,
workforce.
the
Labor.
overhead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the electricity,
Yeah,
the labor, whatever. But it doesn't cost him what it would
Ex-
cost if he were to
exactly.
sell the capacity that it takes to press those records to someone else, right?
If he does 5,000 copies of one of these LPs outside the cost of the
It
box,
does,
that
it doesn't matter to him, right? It's
no,
only
it would at the maximum be like $7 for the
right. But
jacket
what
and
I'm saying is no one else but those his presses do the Clarity vinyl, and he doesn't sell that.
that's not true. That's not true.
Does he sell the capacity to someone else?
No, it's just that Clarity Vinyl is just a name. It's marketing.
Right. Yeah, it's
No,
a
I
mixture.
I
Somebody else
understand.
could use the same mixture.
Exactly.
What I'm trying to say is this: the time and the capacity that he reserves to press records, the UHQR records, right, are only for him. He's not going to sell that capacity to anyone else to make a profit because he presses records at QRP for other people for other releases, right?
Mhm. Sure.
So it's not lost capacity on him if he doesn't use the press to press his UHQRs, right?
Absolutely.
So he could
It
dedicate.
depends on it depends how many presses he has, which I don't
I don't
know.
know. I don't know that either. I don't know, and I honestly don't know if the presses for the UHQRs for the Clarity vinyl are the same ones for the black vinyl. That I
They're
don't know.
not. They're
They're
not.
not. So that's what I'm saying.
It's just
I'm assuming that the capacity on the UHQR presses are only for the UHQR. So whether
yeah, it's a special.
he sells the
That's
capacity
a
to
good
press
movie, Freddy versus Jason. I like that
or he
one.
presses his records, it's not there's no difference. So the only cost to him are the raw materials and the time of whoever
Seen
to
that
handle
one?
the records, to sleeve them and all of that. So they would be sleeving other records, right? If they didn't have to
Yep, seen
do a
that one.
run UHQR.
Well,
So
but you
it's a
plan
nice,
your production. You plan your production
Good question,
capacity
Jose.
based on demand and what you have in your production queue. And if you have workers who are, let's say, part-time workers, temporary workers, you either have them on site and pay them, or you don't, based on
This goes
demand or
hell.
based on your production schedule.
Well, and
So it's
on
not
top of
quite
that,
as cut
David,
and dried.
and on top of that, correct me if you feel differently. Usually, you're going to get less output on second and third shifts. That's just naturally how it goes, right? So even if you're running 3 shifts, like let's say you're just balls to the wall, you're still not going to have the same output on first shift that you'll have on second and third. It kind of goes down.
Yeah, retention of people is difficult these days, and Salina, Kansas, it's not going to
Line
exactly
of
the
fucking-
pool.
I'm,
The pool.
one of the things to consider, Arnaldo.
I can just
one
say
of the-
one thing.
One of the things to consider, and tell us what your reasoning, please, Arnaldo, is that when you sell a product, a manufactured product like that, how much times do you sell it more than your production cost?
Oh, 3 times.
At a minimum 3 times.
3
Yeah.
times.
So if the UHQR was indeed, which maybe I'm wrong, inflation and all
It's
that. I
150,
think
then you would
I would-
estimate that it's costs $50, and then we're back to the $50 again.
yeah, well, I would estimate that they cost 35 at maximum, but which still, like, it's not outlandish to think that you sell it for 4 times, like 3 times or 4 times. It's still in pretty common in the world of vinyl. Then we are there. The price is
Legitimate.
bring taxes and all that.
No one's debating that. All I'm saying is that it was
Yeah, I
very
know.
ambitious to think that even at a high price cost per unit of $50, that they could sell 20,000 of those is a very ambitious.
Yeah,
Those
but in
you mean
reality,
Steely
I think
Dan
they
or-
need to sell 12,000.
I'm sorry?
In reality, I think they, with my math, they only need to sell 12,000 only.
to be profitable.
Yeah, and remember, this is also PR. Like, doing that is like occupying the space. Like, people talk about it. As you see, it's been very successful as generating people who have no vested interest in that, talking endlessly about it. So
I think he's talking about me, but no, go ahead.
no, no, David.
No.
I think, don't be a Jason. Don't think you're the center of the world.
No.
Shots fired. Jason Rojas. I can't believe it. I thought you guys were pals. What happened here? Are we seeing a breakup?
No, I was talking about spins.
Oh, Spins. Oh, sorry, Spins.
Sorry.
Welcome to the vinyl community, Spins. You haven't made it until.
I'm not giving up that moniker, man. I am the center. You guessed it already, so we don't even know each other, Stunty, but you already got me pegged.
Got him. If you've seen one Spins vinyl, you've seen them all. I think that's what the takeover is here.
Oh well,
Fair enough. So, Stunty, it sounds like you're not going to buy any of the UHQRs. Is that safe?
Ever. Like, everyone is always saying, like, oh, the original. I've listened to them on like incredible sound systems. It's for me, it's I understand why people want it, but yeah, it's like a goodie for me.
Minty.
Well, Jason's a huge fan, and I'm talking about Rojas, not Spins. I know you, Jason. Were you talking about getting UHQR tattooed on your other arm? Is that? Didn't you tell me that in Austin? What's the latest on that, Jason? We need to know.
No.
Okay, fair enough. It must have been too many Bergs. We had those Bergs that one night. I think it. Jose, what in that? You used to show records on this show, and now you're showing anything but a record. You're showing ranch dressing.
Un lempira hondureño.
Are you showing us pesos?
No, it's from Honduras. Un lempira.
Jose, I appreciate
at least give credit to Jose. He's not showing the same Fremer record over and over and over.
Wow, now that's a direct shot at Jason Rojas, Michael Fremer super fan. Unbelievable.
No.
Unbelievable. Well, guys, I think we've beat this topic up.
I can read some French poetry for Stunty so he falls asleep, but it's in Spanish. Les fleurs du mal, right?
I mean, listen, I've already offended people with the Pygmy Dance video. I think Jose, with his abundance of profanity, that was one of the charges in that wonderful Facebook group. Jose wasn't it, or was that in a different video? Where
no, it was that. Yeah.
Which Facebook group is this? Maybe I'm not part of it.
Audiophile Trade, isn't that one? Or
no, it's the Acoustic Sounds Fan Club.
Oh yeah, I'm on that one.
So you did
Analog Productions.
Oh, the Analog Productions one. Yes, I'm on.
They were sharing the last stream with about the UHQR.
About the UHQR is the one with the wonderful thumbnail that Spins did, and I thought it was a very fair and objective.
I didn't know that was going to get you in trouble.
Well, it's got me shadow banned because I'm not getting email notifications anymore, and my product shows up incomplete. But it was worth the 2,000 views because I was told by a wide sage to not talk unless a live stream got over 1,000 views. So is 2,000 enough? I'm not good at math.
You got to pick which sword you want to fall on. You know, is it going to be YouTube or is it going to be, Chad? I mean,
well, Stunty, I'm glad to see you up here. I'm sorry that we're running out of time, but
that's fine. But I just wanted to tell you that without you realizing it, with your latest video with High Fidelity Records, you created some drama, Chance, huh?
Oh, in what way? Maybe I've missed it. Where's the drama live?
There was a little bit of a reveal in that video of a private collection being purchased by a High Fidelity.
Oh, about the Danny Kaye or about the New York? Oh, yeah.
Oops.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that.
I mean, I just think I remember someone who was in the market to buy that collection for a couple of years ago.
So there's a little bit more insight. I see. Okay, I see what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
People won't understand it, maybe, but like some people have been talking because of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
so that was, you had like a sort of exclusive with that.
Hey, every once in a while, a broken clock is right at least twice a day. So I do okay once in a while. Anyway, Jose's put his Mets hat back on, so I think we'll probably wrap this up. But again, what a joy. What a joy. Yeah, the original Surface Noise OGs on here. Spins joined us. Stunty brought it. And then Wyoming Dave has now changed his name back to what it should be, the mayor.
Yeah.
I hope that David is enjoying my way too tight shirt.
Oh, Wyoming Dave, how do you feel?
Sassy. That's Stunty sassy.
How do you feel about? I mean, Stunty was a model. I was told once that Stunty was a model. So can you give us a runway? Can you give us a little attaché chate?
Just the hair, just a hair from one
hair
side
toss.
to
Can you give Wyoming Dave a hair toss?
Yeah.
there you go. There you go.
Send them a lock.
All right. Well, again, everyone watching, appreciate it. Even the haters, I always drink your bleach. It's good for the diet. I appreciate you. Fun show.
It kills COVID. It kills COVID.
It kills COVID. Yeah, drink some Clorox. It does kill COVID. And Jason, did you acquire this? The Atlantic 75 Mingus the Clown. Please tell us.
No.
That's a hard to find album.
You're too passive aggressive, Jason.
Oh no, not passive aggressive, Jason. That's my fourth favorite, Jason. Passive aggressive, Jason. Oh my gosh. Anyway, appreciate you watching. Appreciate everybody coming on. And next week, B-side Spins Vinyl is going to bring it. And Arnaldo had to do one more.
No, I'm sending love to the VC. Okay.
Cool. That's beautiful. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
And now it's
nothing happened. What's going on? Nothing happened.
No, it's not working.
Oh,
your
Arnaldo.
heart is.
Okay.
You gotta. Yeah.
That looked like a tomato. That didn't look like a heart. That's
Like
a tomato.
it's like
It's
Arnaldo. It's like this.
There we go.
There we go.
Why is he doing it like this?
It's a bad tomato.
Appreciate you. Good to see you.